If you're into 3D printing, you know the feeling. You've got this perfect design on your screen, but then it turns into a total mess on the printer. It is a huge headache. Well, today, we're going to look at a piece of software that claims to be the cure for that exact problem. It's called CUR3D, and it's all about making that journey from digital model to physical object completely, well, seamless.
I mean, you've been there, right? You've got this amazing digital design, you're all fired up to bring it into the real world, but the second you try to prep it for printing, everything just goes wrong. It's that feeling of dread that can totally kill your creative vibe before you even get started.
And it's usually the same old problems, the usual suspects causing all the chaos. You're fighting with walls that are just way too thin to print, surfaces that are somehow overlapping each other, normals pointing in the completely wrong direction, and, oh yeah, those mysterious holes and cavities that your slicing software has absolutely no idea what to do with. Throw in some wonky scaling factors and your perfect project is suddenly a digital disaster zone.
And here's the thing you have to remember. It's probably not you, it's the data. The simple truth is, the vast majority of CAD files and 3D models just weren't designed with 3D printing in mind. Yeah, they look great on a screen, but they need a ton of work to actually become printable. And that's where the real headache begins.
So this is where CUR3D comes in. It's pronounced cured, which is a pretty clever name, right? It points directly to its purpose. See, it's billed as the first real pre-press software for 3D printing. If you think about traditional publishing, pre-press is that vital step where you get a magazine ready for the actual printing press. CUR3D is doing that same exact thing, but for your 3D models.
The ultimate goal here is, honestly, it's pretty powerful. Just imagine for a second if 3D printing was as simple and as reliable as just hitting print on a regular document. No fuss, no weird errors, no failed prints, just a perfect result every single time. That's the world CUR3D is trying to build.
In fact, some people are calling it the Gutenberg revolution for additive manufacturing. Now that is a bold claim, but think about it. Gutenberg's press made printing accessible to everybody, right? Well, the idea here is that CUR3D could make 3D printing way faster and more accessible for everyone by just tearing down those technical barriers.
And this right here, this is the real game changer. We're talking about taking a workflow that can be hours of manual, frustrating, pull your hair out kind of work and shrinking it down to just a few minutes of automated prep. This isn't a small improvement. It's a fundamental shift in how you'd even approach a project.
So, what does that actually mean for you, the person making stuff? It means you get to spend your time on what really matters. Designing, creating, iterating, the fun part. Instead of getting stuck in the mud doing all that tedious file repair, you get to focus on the art and let the software handle the science.
And the benefits just kind of ripple outwards from there. The massive time savings, that's the biggest piece of the pie, for sure. But that directly leads to higher quality prints because the files are properly fixed. And that, in turn, saves you money on filament and resin from failed prints. It all just adds up to a huge boost in your productivity.
Okay, so with all that said, you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on this? Let's jump into the practical side of things, where to find CUR3D, and maybe how to get it for the best price.
It's actually pretty simple. CUR3D is for Windows, and you can grab it on Steam. Now, the key piece of info here is that it often goes on sale for a pretty big 50% discount. So, a little patience could definitely pay off.
And here's a pro tip for you. Keep an eye out during those big seasonal Steam sales, the summer and winter sales. The developer also runs their own special promotions sometimes. So honestly, the best way is just to add it to your Steam wishlist, and you'll get a notification the second that price drops.
But what if you're still not totally sure it's the right tool for you? Well, the great thing about it being on Steam is that there's a built-in way you can test it out, completely risk-free.
So the process is super easy. You buy it, you download it, and then you find your most problematic, annoying 3D models, the ones I'm talking about, and just throw them at it. Really put it through its paces. As long as you do all that testing within 2 hours of playtime, you can get a full refund, no questions asked. It's the ultimate try before you buy.
Which brings us right to their tagline, which is super confident and really sums up the whole point of the software. The promise is simple. Run your model through our software and it's going to be ready for your printer, period.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. At the end of the day, this isn't just about fixing files. It's about getting your time back, getting your creative energy back. If you could just erase hours of tedious prep work from every single project, what new, amazing things could you go out and create?